the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny on this Wednesday, June 30th. Very quiet here compared to what it was yesterday, okay? We had over 3 million minis traded in the day session, and the total volume in the big contract in the S&P was 30,000. And this was without any index spreads going into that volume. That's a very big number, and that's the type of day that these guys in the pit can really make some money on. Now, you know what? Here's the deal. The markets were firmed up. We obviously, Tim from Top Notch hit this thing dead on yesterday. And if you look at the video, you go back and you look at the low of the day, you'll find out that what we're saying is exactly right on. But anyways, what happened is the market closed on a very weak note yesterday, and then we had a buy imbalance going into the close of like 90 million. The S&P futures popped up a little bit on the close, and then in the Globex session, we were like 8 to 9 handles higher overnight. The markets couldn't have looked better. But then we had to come in this morning, in this morning's ADP report, and that number didn't come out as well as people would have liked. Thus, the market sold off just before the 8:30 open. At one point, like I said, we were about 9 handles higher, and then as we opened up at 8:30, we were about 50 cents to 1 handle lower. After the open, what happened was the markets caught a small bid and we rallied. You can see right off the bat, and we said it in the IM, that the tone of the markets had changed a little bit. You know, despite the bonds being firm, the markets were really trying to hold in here. And we said it on the IM. We said, look, the tone had changed here. It's not like it was yesterday. Yesterday it was just filled with sell programs, and today the premiums had widened out a little bit, giving us a little bit of a clue that the markets were going to be okay. Now the real deal here is, you know what? The markets can't go down too far in front of Friday's unemployment number, because if they do, they will discount the number and the markets will rally. So what we're seeing here now is we're seeing a kind of a sideways to higher day, which is one of our rules after a big down day, okay? That's exactly what's going on here. We came in this morning, we had about 4,500 big S&Ps traded, we had about 435,000 minis traded, and if you take the volume, if you take that volume out of what we've got going right now, we've got about 800,000 minis traded. As far as the rest of the day, the bond market's come down a little bit. It's put a little bit of bid into the S&P, and you know what? After that big down day, the market should gravitate to the upside a little bit. And for tomorrow, what we're thinking is it's the first trading day of the new quarter, and I'll give you these stats. The first trading day of the new quarter of July has been up 17 out of the last 20 occasions, okay? That's a good. Today, statistically, is not a good day, but the markets went down so much yesterday that they're just kind of moving higher quietly. Very, very quiet market here. The stats for today was the last day of the second quarter, the Dow's been down 13 out of the last 18. It's a little better for the NASDAQ. I think the stats are up 14 of the last 18 for the NASDAQ, and you can see that this morning the NASDAQ was much firmer than the S&P coming in. You know what, we're not going to push anything other than just telling you, our recommendation, the desk recommendation, is that for further slowness going into the end of the day, the big picture will be on that unemployment number on Friday, and we'll clue you in on that tomorrow as far as the numbers and what we're looking at as far as the numbers themselves into the number on the 7:30 number. As far as the rest of the day, we don't really expect very much. We think again that the market will gradually go higher. We'll see you tomorrow with another update.